And so you arise, one of the promised of House Varun. Did you feel the great serpent working within you? Do you feel born anew? Through strength and perseverance, House Varun will triumph over all that stands in its way. I grant you the title of Vindicator. All will know you. All will trust you. Above us, in the grand ship morning, jewel of the Varun fleet, the High Council awaits your arrival. Serve them. Serve the great serpent. All must serve.
Did you need something? Welcome, Vindicator. You stand before what remains of the High Council, advisors to Nasco Varun. We are all that is left after the disaster that has befallen our people. I represent House Dulkev. Jamal is from House Kadik, and we are joined by Lovek of House Vital. We are, all of us, hopeful that your arrival in Dazra and your clear connection to Nasco Varun, for the first time in weeks, represent some semblance of hope. Collectively, we unite under the banner of House Varun, pledged to follow Jinan Varun and his descendants. But our society is not a monolith. Jinan, in his wisdom, shepherded the first of us into families that we might grow and prosper. Our 3 families have for generations now helped to govern the people of House Varun, and offer counsel to our leader. But you do. We have only seen brief glimpses of him since the incident. But you heard him speak. How can that be taken as anything other than providence? Please, just allow us a moment to explain.
By all means, Malabor. I can't wait to see how you spend this.
Please, can we just for a moment...
Can we just for a moment what? Discuss whether or not to allow the first convert to House Varun since before any of us were born? A bit late on that, it seems.
You were not there. You did not see Anasco. It felt different. We have already wasted so much time...
You're correct. I was not there. Because you elected to travel to the spaceport on your own. And then decided this on your own.
Do not waste time with more bickering. Anasco, and by extension House Varun, suffers with every passing moment.
Of course, Lovek. My apologies. Please, Malabor. Do go on.
Anasco Varun, like his father before him, has relied on the teachings of Jinan to guide us. Anasco wondered if perhaps it was time to seek guidance directly from the Great Serpent, and so sought a means of reaching out.
Perhaps he found the teachings inadequate.
Careful, Kadik. You tread on dangerous ground.
I mean nothing by it. We simply were never consulted on the matter and do not know the full motive.
The point is that a series of experiments have taken place over the years, utilizing grav drive technology to hopefully make direct contact with the Great Serpent, similar to Jinan Varun's initial meeting.
And then something went wrong.
We do not know what happened. We were not inside the Scaled Citadel at the time.
Had we been, we wouldn't be standing here now. We'd be like the rest of them.
A great tide of energy emanated from the Scaled Citadel and swept across Dasra. Much was destroyed in its wake. Those caught in the blast have been left in a state of confusion, trapped halfway between our universe and the Vortex. The Citadel itself remains in such a state. Right there and yet beyond our reach. We can only assume that the experiment is still running, somehow preventing us from entering the Citadel. We cannot get in, so we cannot stop it. We were beginning to lose hope before you arrived. Forgive me, I am no scientist, but as it has been explained to me, what we call the Vortex is the space between universes. Your arrival and your interaction with Anasco shows that he can still be saved. A plan had been devised to access the Citadel, but the work stalled. Clearly, it is time to move forward with it. The current head of our science team, Ekris, should be in Jinan Plaza down below us, towards the Citadel. Tell him about your experience with Anasco, and that work on the morning device must proceed. Hello, Vindicator.
Do you know the scientists out at Hamadi Station?
The old married couple? Azad and Shireen, if I remember right.
Yes? Well, look who it is. You have made quite a stir, and given the state of things, that is a singular accomplishment. To what do I owe the honor, Vindicator? Did he now? How magnanimous. But approval is approval, and I will gladly take it. I will spare you much of the technical detail, as I confess that pieces of it I barely understand myself. One cannot help but notice the energy field around the scaled citadel. Until we can get through it, we cannot shut down the experiment inside, and it has proved quite impossible to get through. We had the beginnings of a plan to build a makeshift contraption to redirect grav drive energy to see if we could penetrate the barrier, but the project came to a halt. Politics got in the way. Every one of the houses needs to contribute, and every one realized they could potentially use it for leverage. What should have been a cooperative effort turned contentious. Easy decisions became negotiations. And so, construction never began. We have sat here, staring at this disaster as supplies pile up for well over a week now. Serpent help us, it is infuriating. Indeed. All must serve. I believe I've done enough complaining for now. Time to get to work. If you're here, the Council has likely sent word to the houses that it's time to stop the infighting. I doubt it will be enough. I need to oversee construction here, make sure things are built to specifications. If you could follow up with the houses, that may speed up the process. I appreciate that someone around here is eager to get to work. House Fetal owes us access codes for the city power grid. It's the only way to guarantee enough power to activate the device. House Kadik was supposed to provide a young scientist named Sahima to help me. She had at least some experience with the original Citadel experiment. No idea why they refused to send her. And Hasmek, the new elder of House Dulkef, he has been distant, guarded. He claims to have vital information about an important component of the experiment, but has withheld it until now. Help me get what we need, and we will see what we can do for the Speaker, and for House Varun. And I may have something that can help you in whatever trials the Serpent puts before you as we navigate this. We have been nearly overwhelmed with all that has happened over the last few weeks, but I have still spent some time doing my own research when I can. These phantoms, the vortex. Fascinating subject, really. If only there were some less disastrous way we could have discovered all this. I know. I have lost friends and colleagues myself. We have encountered several interesting phenomena. First, while the phantoms shift to a fully human form when killed, they often retain small shards that appear to be an almost crystallized version of vortex energy. Second, we have learned that killing the phantoms sometimes causes an even greater disturbance. Horrors, as they have been colloquially termed, can appear from somewhere. We are unsure of their origin, but it is not within our universe. These horrors and their spawn are infested with cysts, a seemingly organic manifestation of vortex energy. We have managed to collect enough to run experiments and have devised a method of combining them into an explosive mixture with varying properties. While they have no use in the development of the morning device, if you find yourself out in the field, I believe they could have more practical applications. The process is simple enough that any industrial workstation should suffice, if you have the materials. And, depending on how you combine said materials, you may find the results to be somewhat variable. I hope you can use that to your advantage. Yes, depending on how much trouble you're getting into. We have been nearly overwhelmed with all that has happened over the last few weeks, but I have still spent some time doing my own research when I can. These phantoms, the vortex. Fascinating subject, really. If only there were some less disastrous way we could have discovered all this. Well, then you are in luck. We have encountered several interesting phenomena. First, while the phantoms shift to a fully human form when killed, they often retain small shards that appear to be an almost crystallized version of vortex energy. Second, we have learned that killing the phantoms sometimes causes an even greater disturbance. Horrors, as they have been colloquially termed, can appear from somewhere. We are unsure of their origin, but it is not within our universe. These horrors and their spawn are infested with cysts, a seemingly organic manifestation of vortex energy. We have managed to collect enough to run experiments and have devised a method of combining them into an explosive mixture with varying properties. While they have no use in the development of the morning device, if you find yourself out in the field, I believe they could have more practical applications. Well then, allow me to provide you with a few starting samples. The process is simple enough that any industrial workstation should suffice, if you have the materials. And, depending on how you combine said materials, you may find the results to be somewhat variable. I hope you can use that to your advantage.
Apparently looking for some help with their research. They made some kind of discovery that has them troubled.
Good luck finding help at a time like this.
Indeed. Yet, the serpent provides for the faithful. So who knows?
Victor. The High Council needs access to the power grid if we hope to restore the city. Your inability to provide a legitimate excuse for denying them will only last so long.
Victoria is right. I know you're angry, but you can't let personal matters interfere with what may be best for everyone.
Personal matters? This is a Ministry of State matter, and I will handle it as I see fit. He is a traitor. He turned his back not only on his family, but on our people's entire belief system. The fact that he still breathes is a stain upon the House Vethal name.
You would doom us all with your pride.
I will do as I please as head of this house. If you are not a member of House Vethal, you do not belong here. Another High Council lackey come begging? I told Lovek no more!
Forgive my brother. He has been forgetting his manners of late. Victor, this is Anasco's chosen. You recall Lovek sent word.
I recall he spoke of a newly anointed promised. And we do not need help, especially from an outsider.
You can't continue to refuse the council. You must act. Your inaction is killing you.
Precisely, which is why he leaves me no choice but to say this. My nephew Varric has left, and until he returns, Victor refuses to assist the council.
These are hardly matters for the ears of an outsider. You have no idea what you speak of. You are an outsider. You have no understanding of our house. The audacity! I should have you arrested.
Is this not the opportunity you've been looking for, brother? A third party capable of finding Varric?
Yes, you said so yourself. Someone with no loyalties to speak of. And if he's become promised, truly his arrival is more than coincidence.
Serpent, give me strength. You both speak true. Perhaps I have reacted in haste. Tell me, Vindicator, are you well practiced in discretion? Good. I can appreciate the monetary understanding, and to ensure you keep your word, you will receive payment afterwards. As Vittoria mentioned, my son, Varric, has left. Essentially, he has abandoned his post, and not only did he turn his back on his house, but the great serpent as well. He is a traitor and must be dealt with as such.
Victor, surely you don't mean it.
He does, Luther. He is allowing his fervent pride and anger to cloud his judgment. What my brother is trying to say is that he wishes his own son dead. First, we lose Vashti to that malignance tearing through Dazra. And now you so willingly offer up Varric. As if our house has not suffered enough loss already.
This is not grief. This is betrayal. Not only to me, but to our society and the great serpent himself. I do not wish Varric dead, but as head of the Ministry of State, he left me no choice. All must serve. Those who refuse will be met with death. The shame Varric brought upon this house is immeasurable. It stains the very foundation. I will not act until this house is in order and its members are properly aligned with the Great Serpent. And showing leniency for a house member at a time like this when order is needed most would be unwise.
The law. Our work is not so simple, and you know it. You act as if death is the only answer. What about forgiveness?
I will not risk the ministry's authority on the actions of my own son, even if he is my chosen heir. If the High Council wants my cooperation, I need you to find Vedic and carry out his sentence.
And I would ask you to spare him. My brother is acting under impulse, not reason.
I have never been more clear. Speak against me one more time, and you will regret it. Vedic has a signet ring with House Vithal's family crest. Bring it to me as proof of death. Only then will I grant you access to the power grid. See that you get it done. I recommend you start by speaking to patrons of the Herald's Rest. Some of Vedic's associates there may know where he went, but keep in mind, anyone who has directly aided him in hiding is an accomplice and shares his fate. Good. And remember, absolute discretion. All anyone needs to know is that you are looking for Vedic for personal reasons. I will not risk word of his disappearance getting out before I can say the situation has been handled.
All I am saying is that I am not pleased with the recent outsider. Seems the great serpent has chosen to spare us.
I got you your favorite.
This bar is the only thing keeping many people sane.
What? This railing is taken. And no, I'm not looking for company. My help? That'd be a first. Well, I'm afraid you've come to the wrong person. Varric. One day we're inseparable, and the next, I've searched all of Dazra for him. But he's gone. Couldn't even leave a note. That means he either doesn't want to be found or... well, I prefer not to think about it. I appreciate your understanding earlier, and maybe I did, but I just don't think he wants to be found. Yes, and I sure got yelled at plenty of times for being placed. Great serpent. Let him be okay. Nope. Nothing. Enough of this. Please leave me. Great serpent. They always run off. I just want to see him. Great serpent. Just let him be all right.
No. What do you want? Can't you see I'm busy? You and me both. The worst thing that can possibly happen, happens. And then he disappears. I mean, come on, we're supposed to be friends. Is there ever a good reason to abandon your friends? You'd think B would at least be commiserating with me. But I'm suddenly too drunk to deal with. Some friend she is. All she cares about is Varric. Right? That's what we do. When we lost people to the so-called incident, we banded together. I just want Varric to show up so things can get back to normal. Whatever that is. Did he trust me? I just don't know anymore. No way. I wish I could tell you there was. We talked about so much. It's just hard to recall everything. Wait. I think I remember something now. Tane! He mentioned talking to Tane one day about getting off-world, seeing the settled systems. We never thought he was serious, and even if he wasn't... Tane still might know something. Tane's a regular. I'm sure he'll be by any minute if you just want to take a seat.
Can I get you anything?
A drink or two ought to lighten this mood. Hey, aren't you that outsider made promise that showed up here recently? Impressive, since these people really aren't into strangers, especially in times like these. I'm an outsider myself. It's hard to get into the whole giant snake thing. Tell me about it. I've been toting stuff back and forth for these people for years and still get the cold shoulder most places I go. But then these people lose half their city and you show up, and suddenly it's divine intervention. It sure has, to say the least. Anyway, enough about that. What can I do you for? That's so. Well, I guess that depends, Vindicator. Who wants to know? Oh, sure. You just show up out of the blue and suddenly want to know where to find House Vathal's #1 son? And I know he wasn't lost to whatever ate up half of Dazra. Plenty of people have seen him since. Although, let's just say after what went down here, my retirement's looking imminent, and I haven't exactly been saving up for a rainy day. So if you're feeling generous, maybe we can help each other out. Nice to see we operate on the same wavelength. I'm pretty sure he's heading into the Highlands. Just not sure where. But I do have the means to track him. So you just say the word and we're off to the races. Oh no, I'm stuck on you until this is over. Let's just say I have an investment to look after. Once we're outside of Dazra, I'll fire up my tracker, and fingers crossed, it'll lead us right to him. Just head out the west gate, should be the fastest route.
Best to keep busy, lest you lose your luck.
you do. Sorry, but you will have to get approval before you can buy any weapons from me. Apologies, but you're not clear to purchase from me yet.
the hell is that? What the hell is that? Still in one piece. Two arms, two legs, still good to go. All my years and all the planets I've been on, never gonna get used to those things. You got that right. Damn House Baron. Wiping out half their city and bringing in whores like these. At least I don't see a body around here, so I hope that means Varric's alive. You find anything? Well, let's take a look. Looks like Varric's running around in a panic. Not that I blame him. He definitely fled the camp, though. Better go check below and see if we can find out which direction he went. Considering all the blood, looks like he stopped here to patch himself up. He's heading northwest, though, so let's see where that takes us.
Interference with caregiving tasks will not be tolerated.
That's far enough, strangers. You want to tell me what you're doing on my property uninvited? House Vedal's heir. It makes sense now.
You've seen him. You saw Varric?
Yes, I believe we did.
Irina, are you sure you know what you're doing?
Zen, yes, I know quite well. Never mind my partner, they're just overly cautious. As I said before, I've never seen Varric Bethal. We keep to ourselves. There's no reason for a path to cross. But we did aid an injured young man a few days ago.
That's gotta be Varric.
It's too coincidental. It must have been him. We sent him north. There's a long-abandoned growth farm we felt he could make use of. He claimed he lost everything in the incident that swallowed half of Dazra. He wanted to start a new life. We even gave him 2 of our own growths to get started.
Thanks for the help.
All must serve.
Farewell, brother.
Great Serpent bless you for sparing my family.
Grote Caregiver Protocol.
Veric's been busy if he got this much done. Nothing going on out here. How about you? Find anything? Sounds like it's a waiting game then.
It seems I have uninvited guests. You want to explain yourselves?
Whoa, hey, it's me. Dang. Put the gun down already.
It's not you I'm concerned about. It's your friend. I wish I could say I was pleased to meet you, but something tells me this isn't a social call. Please, if you're here on my father's orders, allow me to plead my case. I am not sure how familiar you are with our culture, but all I've ever wanted was the right to choose. I was born House Vithal. I was raised to inherit the role of elder, to run the Ministry of State, to worship the Great Serpent. But I want none of it.
They really got into your head with the whole promise thing.
It's never mattered how much I tried to reason with him. My father simply would not let me go. His pride and the fear of what it would mean for House Vithal is all he cares about. Shame, embarrassment, fuel for the other houses to ridicule my father. I don't want any of that for him, but he left me no choice. If he would have listened just once, maybe I could have left on good terms with my father's blessing. Control the narrative, as they like to say. Only because of our antiquated ways. Our society is stuck in the past. Our culture isolates and suffocates. All I want is to make my own life. Something Tane understood and was willing to help me with.
The credits help too, but yeah, guess you got the whole scoop now. Yeah, I needed a way to find him once he got outside the city. I lost my ship to the incident, so I didn't want Barrick running off thinking I could just grab him and go. I was also out all the credits he was gonna pay me. That's where you came in. I figured, why not 2 for the price of 1? I didn't realize it was gonna turn into a whole thing.
So, now you know my true intentions for leaving, and given the circumstances, I may be here for some time. My hope now is to make the best of it here. That was never my intention. But I know how it looks. The truth is, the scaled citadel was the last straw. My people are so blinded by faith and politics, they don't see how it's destroying us. Anasko Varun eliminated half our population in the blink of an eye. My sister Vashti among them. I could no longer live in a society that won't put its people first. That would destroy itself in the name of a god that has done nothing for us. And if Varun society continues down this path, when we bring about our own end, will that faith be worth it? Anasko's experiments, execution punishments, us versus the rest of the settled systems. I hope you can see why I want to walk away from all this. To start my own life. I ask that you give me that chance. No, I can't go back. I want nothing to do with that life. I've never considered that. I suppose you have a point. All right. I concede. I can see how I may have acted abruptly. Vashti's death. So much devastation. So much loss. But will my father even take me back? Returning to Dazra is something I can hardly believe myself. So point made. I'll need to make some preparations before I return. Gathering my things and making sure Bella and Boris are taken care of. I'll be along shortly.
Same here. I'm going to stick around and help Barrick out. Besides, I don't think I want to be around when you report back to Victor. Do me a favor and find me later at the Herald's Rest.
Thank you for showing me the error of my ways. Our sins must have been concealed.
How did we end up here?
Sorry, but you will have to get approval before you can buy any weapons from me.
What news do you bring, Vindicator?
Serpent, be merciful. You spared him.
Is this true? You allowed a traitor to live. Return?
Victor, this is great news. Truly, the Great Serpent has guided him back to you.
Well, not exactly the Great Serpent, but I have returned nonetheless. Father, I admit I had no intention of coming back, but the Vindicator found me. He helped me see under a different light. Will you forgive me?
Victor, how dare you stall when your son has asked your forgiveness?
Could it be?
Father, I have returned out of love and support for you and House Svetal. I am ready to dedicate myself fully.
Do you have any idea the trauma you have caused me? The damage you could have wrought upon this house?
It was never my intention to harm you or this house. Losing Vashti. So much devastation. I feared we devoted ourselves blindly to a path that would lead to our end. I let my emotions get the best of me. I lost my way, but I have returned. Repentant and ready to serve.
Perhaps you are right. Varric, I have always seen myself in you, son. Even the weaker emotional side. Much like your aunt does for me, I know Vashti did for you. She was your anchor. It should be no surprise how her death drove you away.
Thank you, Father. All I ask is for your understanding and forgiveness.
And you shall have it.
It's good to have you back with us, Varric.
You put my son back on the right path and guided him home.
Come, Varric. Let us get you resettled.
Now that we have a bit more privacy, I wanted to discuss the matter of any traitors among us. Did you find anyone who aided my son in his treachery? Good. Unfortunately, I have heard rumblings among the people of Varric's disappearance, so your credits will not be issued. Wardens are dealing with the matter as we speak. But, while not the orders given, you restored this house and have my gratitude. Here, the access code that Ekris needs to connect to the power grid. Now go. Obviously, my son and I...
Serpent keep you. You do not have approval to trade with me.
Barracks are so empty.
Do not understand. I saw a Nasco, took measure of his burdens.
What you are describing is a dream, nothing more.
Not a dream. A message from the great serpent himself.
With all due respect to your craft, dear sister, now is not the time for incense and ash leaves. Or do you not see the depth of the crater before you?
On the contrary, brother. I see it for what it truly is. And if we ignore this vision, a Nasco will be lost to us forever.
Enough with the proselytizing. The Vindicator has returned. Did Victor finally relinquish the access code? Excellent. We'll finally have the resources to fully charge the morning device. Now, let's hope Houses Kadik and Dul Kef are as forthcoming.
Politics can wait. Every moment we delay, a Nasco descends further into the void.
For the last time, faith will not remove the barrier. Science will.
It is the hubris of science that failed you in this moment. We reached out to the great serpent. This is his reply.
You claim he has forsaken us?
I do no such thing. The great serpent's reply is not an answer, but a question. Are we worthy of his grace? Until that is proven, your works will not succeed. I will forgive you for not knowing our customs, but I will not talk. But the proof is not in our words. It is in the vision. A Nasco's presence still
Fine. I feel like I've lived this argument 1,000 times, and the only way to move past... Vindicator, speak to my sister. Agree to her fool's errand so that we may continue the work of...